the past few months I've been trying to find a job that accommodates me as an autistic girly who has only recently discovered that she's autistic. I've had the crumbling of everything, like the tower moment, like everything's kind of just fallen apart recently in the last 6 months really, and I've been trying to help myself in the best way I can, which has meant relearning how to live in a lot of ways. So today I am bringing you the start of a new little series where I am documenting my little journey of making a new business. So yeah, let's dive into the first episode. Before we kind of dive in a bit more, I want to give you some context, more context than was in that introduction. I am accredited in a bunch of skin things, had a skin clinic for almost 4 years. Everything kind of came crashing down just as I was publishing a whole freaking book. I was talking on the radio, I was doing all the things, and then now what I know to be autistic shut down happened, and here we are, unemployed, trying to build a career that accommodates me, because I realised I can no longer work in one-to-one services. It just doesn't work for me. Like it always is just going to lead to burnout, so I have to find a way around that, and this solution I found is a way around that, and I have to start putting it in action basically. So that is what we're doing today. We're starting that whole process, so you're going to be with me from kind of step one of building like a whole new business, so you can kind of see the behind the scenes, and I hope you enjoy the journey with it as well. Obviously trying to accommodate like my autism is what my whole life is revolving around right now, because that is my whole life, right? Like it's how I work, how I do things, and I physically can't push through anymore because of something called a cognitive dysfunction, and in particular cognitive friction. It essentially is just like when your brain physically takes away the option of going to go do something because it deems it as too many things, like too much, so it like flags it as like a risk. It's like a mechanical thing, it's not like a motivation emotional thing, it's like a neurological mechanical thing. Like it's just how the brain goes. Like if it's overwhelmed, it like goes to the extreme, and then it like steps in and takes away like some of your choices. It's really scary. And yeah, that's what's been kind of happening behind the scenes. I've been trying to deal with that, especially in regards to finding a job, obviously with pretty much no income, or very minimum income at the moment. So I'm trying to help myself. This business has to fit my capacity. It has to work with my energy rather than against it, because obviously I spent years and years and years overriding like my nervous system basically, and now I obviously don't have the choice to do that, so I have to make this work in this newer way that works for me basically. I want to make bows. I'm setting up a shop, all online of course, and I'm going to be making bows completely just like tailored towards me, what I would want in like a hair bow, and towards adults as well. And I've already got like a lot of ideas of how I want to make this happen. So I've gotten out my trusty sewing machine, which is right here, and I haven't touched this in about 6 years. Can't really remember how to use it, so I'm gonna have to relearn. So that's gonna be fun. I ordered some practice fabric to kind of make some like practice bows, because I have to work out, you know, the sizing measurements and what I want them to look like, and like kind of just like all of these things. So today we're going to make the first attempt, and hopefully just like learn a lot from this experience. Let me show you my little bow collection to start with, because I really like bows. Okay, welcome to one of Tabby's favourite things in the entire world. These are 2 separate containers. One of them's for short hair and one of them's for long hair, because really sadly when I cut my hair really short, I realised that, well, I can't wear a lot of my bows now. So there is already a problem that I want to solve with my bows as well. I would like to offer them in 2 different sizes with the length of the tails. So obviously like this bow for example you can see how long the tail is. This is beautiful, but it's only gonna work for like long hair or medium hair. Like if I put this in now, oh no, my hair might actually be long enough now. Oh, that's cool. But you can see if there's anything shorter than my hair, you cannot wear the bow, right? So yeah, I want to make 2 different lengths of tails for each bow that I offer. So yeah, these are my bows. I've got this beautiful black one, this beautiful red satin one. This came in a pack, as you can see. This beautiful one as well. And then my shorter bows. So we've got these, this pink one, this beautiful red one that I got more recently for Christmas, black satin one. Oh, this beautiful one. This is my most expensive bow, as you can see. It's so pretty. Got this little one, and then these 2 little ones as well. So yeah, I got a lot of bows. So yeah, this is good though, because this gives me ideas, right? Like I can look at these and be like, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. Like market research basically. So obviously you can get bows that have like tails like these, or you can get bows that don't really have tails. I prefer the ones with tails, so I'm gonna make my bows with tails, for example, and probably not like this. This is cute, but I just prefer them with tails, so that's what's gonna happen. In terms of the backs, obviously these are called French barrettes, I believe, and you push them in, and then it like holds your hair in place, obviously. This is one of the things that I've been kind of struggling with a little bit already, because I'm not a silver girl. Like all my jewellery is rose gold and gold, like that's just how I am. So I don't really want to have silver barrettes on the back of my bows because it just doesn't feel aligned with me. So I already had a little look, and it's really hard to find rose gold barrettes. So we will see how that's going to work, but I refuse to use silver unless there is no way around it, because I want it to be like everything really specifically thought out, and I obviously want to sew everything as well. I don't want it to be where I have to glue anything on, because I want things to be really solid. So there's that as well. And yeah, so that is kind of like my bow market research already. Obviously different fabrics and things like that is kind of like important. And there was another thing as well, I prefer when there is a double bow like this. See how it's like a bow and then another bow attached to it? Probably see it better on this one. Like there's like 2 parts rather than having like one, for example. I think this is much prettier with the 2 rather than the 1, so I'm going to do that as well. So that is another thing. And yeah, so let's just like dive into it. I need to cut the fabric out, figure out how to use the sewing machine, and then we'll get going with it. So starting off by actually cutting the fabric, so what I decided to do was just use a highlighter, and I actually didn't have a ruler, so I had to use a tape measure, unfortunately, which wasn't the best solution, but it's what I had to work with. And of course this is just like a practice bow, so it wasn't like the biggest deal in the entire world. I came with like a kind of idea of what like lengths I was going to do the different pieces of fabric, so I just made sure I jotted down which ones I actually decided to try out for this like practice bow. And there was kind of like a lot of different pieces that I needed for this. I needed like a main large piece of fabric for the main bow, a smaller piece of fabric for like the smaller bow, and then I needed 2 tails, which would obviously be like 4 each really. And yeah, that was like the main part, and then I needed like a centerpiece as well. So there's like lots of different like things going on. It was a little bit confusing at times, not gonna lie. So already this is where things started to go very wrong. So early on, I needed to fold the fabric lengthways. Tabby didn't fold the fabric lengthways, and this is to sew it as well. So as you can see, things start to go wrong already. It's okay though, it's all a learning curve. So after sewing the whole thing, and then turning it inside out. That is when I realised, oh, hang on, I've done this very wrong. So I had to unpick it all and sew it again, but this time the right way. Definitely not an error that I'm gonna ever repeat because this was so annoying. Then I basically just repeated this whole process with the different pieces of fabric until it somehow resembled kind of a bow. Pretty cool, right? I was so happy with this already. It's finally like taking shape. Welcome to day 2. It is been a few hours, as you can tell. It's a whole new day. We left off yesterday by basically configuring this situation. I don't have barrettes yet, they haven't arrived, which is making this very much harder than it kind of needs to be honest, because I'm just like, well, I'm going to finish the bow today, but I'm not going to be able to like try it on, which is kind of an issue. So I might end up just making this one into like a bobble hair tie bow, which is a bit annoying unless I just leave it and wait till the barrette actually arrives, because it should have already arrived by now. But that is just the case. Hopefully finish this one. Maybe I'll make another one as well, because I'm obviously trying out different lengths for the tails and things like that, but I think I've almost got the length for this actual bow kind of right, because obviously this is layered. Obviously it's going to look a lot better than this when it's done, but this is just like a very, you know, mocked up pinned like variation. I don't even know which way around it would be. But yeah, you can see it's coming along. I think I've got the sizing almost pretty right. So yeah, there's good progress that's being made. I'm going to finish this today and hopefully make some really good progress, because I really need to get a crack on. Because yeah, the sooner I figure this out, the better. So let's get making. I'm going to start off today by actually ironing. I know this is really lame, but I haven't ironed anything in like, I don't even know, like a year. Feels like a year, maybe it's longer. So I have to figure out how to use my iron again. I'm sure it's very simple, like this whole machine was to just pick up back in again. But sometimes it's so stressful when you like, things just start like coming to your brain. As you can see, it took a little while for me to figure out that maybe I should turn down the setting on the iron so it's, you know, not making it hard to breathe. Once I did figure out that though, it was really easy just ironing everything, and it was really nice to see like things finally felt like they were coming together. But of course, in true Tabby style, things started going wrong very quickly. So I started pinning the bows because I needed to basically make the fabrics that like were a loop, like each part of the bow was a loop. I needed to make sure that they were like sewn together so the loop stayed closed, right? I was very confused how to do this without actually like sewing through the whole material. With hindsight, would it have mattered to sew through the whole material and make the bow only have loops at the end? I don't think that would have been an issue. So already this is just wasting my time being extra cautious, but it's fine. This is all just information for going forward. Now on to actually making the pieces of fabric like have pleats in them, like so they resemble actual bows. And this is when I realised very fast, this fabric is very thick. How am I supposed to make this work? And yeah, this took a lot of kind of processing and being like, how do I get around this? And the only way that I could find that would get around this is actually putting the two pieces of fabric together and then putting elastic around them, which would then be covered by the centre part. So that was a really interesting like workaround. So this has made me think maybe I have to choose very thin fabrics or find a better way to make bows in the future, because this wasn't very like, it was hard. It was so hard. I spent so many hours today trying to figure this out. Like, it was getting to me so much. I was like, how are people making bows that aren't like thick? How am I supposed to sew through this? This is going to break my sewing machine. If I hand sew this, is going to take ages, and I don't know if it's going to break my needle. There was a lot of like working out to do. It did look cute though. I did actually get my mum's help with this in the end because I was getting so frustrated with it. But it finally like worked to some extent, and then all I had to do was sew on like the centre part, like hand sew it, and sew on the actual tails as well. And this is the end result. Pretty cute, I think. lots of observations were made. It was very useful information, so it's definitely worth doing. We've got our semi-final bow, which is here, and I've learned a lot from this experience. Like a lot. But it doesn't look terrible. So to start with, now I have a ruler, it's going to be a lot easier for my next bow, because I'm going to make an actual pattern and stick to that, which will mean things will be the same size, because clearly these are not the same width right now, which is kind of an issue. So that's gonna be really helpful. Also, not sure if this type of fabric works because it was really thick, so trying to like put it into the pleats was extremely hard, especially because it's a double bow, so I have to bear that in mind going forward. Maybe thicker fabrics are going to take a different kind of way of doing things. Yeah, so there was that. I'm gonna resize things. I'm definitely gonna have to make a lot more bows before I start selling them because I did learn a lot. But yeah, I'm not happy obviously with the state of this yet. I mean, it is cute, like it's gonna look cute. I do want them a bit bigger though, I think. That's the thing. I don't think it looks terrible, but it's just not where I want it to be, and obviously I don't even have my clips yet, so I can't even like try clipping it or anything. But yeah, so but at least I've got like a finished bow now. Like I know where I'm going from here. I know how to help myself, so that's gonna massively help me going forward and what I need to improve. For example, like the ends of these as well, I want them to be a bit more like dramatic, so instead of it being like a slight angle, I want it to be like a proper angle like that, for example. So that's another thing, obviously. Lots to learn, and as you saw, I used elastic to kind of bring it all together as well. And I think obviously I sewed I don't know, two separate pieces for the tails, but I think I would try one large piece. Like they don't need to be separate pieces, and then I would just do the angles on the bottoms of that piece of fabric. I think that would work better than having the two individual ones, because then I had to sew them together anyway, which kind of just feels like, well, if you just started out with one long piece of fabric, wouldn't that be better? Not gonna lie, my head is killing. I had to take my bun out. I've shoved this headband in for the time being, and I am really overwhelmed and crashing a little bit, so I'm gonna try and listen to my body, and I'm gonna chill out for the rest of the day because I am extremely overwhelmed, very stressed, which for a girlie who's trying to accommodate her autistic life by starting this career, it's kind of anti-productive. Obviously this took me 2 whole days to make, but I've learned so much from it, so it's okay. Obviously I'm not trying to build like a hustle like as much as I want it to be a business. I'm basically just trying to build something that my body can live inside, where I'm not, you know, having issues all the time. So yeah, this is definitely time for me to stop. Yeah, I guess I will see you in the next episode of the series as we continue. Hopefully gonna make some better bows, maybe try some different fabrics that's a bit thinner as well, because this is really thick. I mean, it's not terrible, like, you know, if you saw this in a shop you would be like, that's horrible. It's just not where I want it to be. And don't forget to follow me over on Instagram as well. Obviously all my updates and everything, all of my content in short form is over there, so definitely go check that out. It's at probably Tabitha, the link will be in the description, and also will the shop for this little bow business as well. So definitely go check that out and make sure you like the shop as well so you get updates. I will see you next week. Bye!